Obviously, there were so many things that still need to be cleaned up, but a lot of those were kind of brought about by the intensity of the game or the
penalties.
Like some of the crap of the game.
Yeah.
But it was more the penalties. Lining up offsides for I think the second week in a row we did that. To have a receiver or line up offsides. We went offsides on defense one time, like little things like that where we talked about it, and then.
Jumping off sides on fourth down.
Yeah, jumping off sides on fourth down. But there was a screen, for example, where we had talked about it all week. There were a couple things that we talked about where the guys missed kind of the thing that we were hoping they would pick up on. And so there's things there, but certainly, to have a playoff game, we were able to execute. But again, we got out of that 30 and we had a 30-yard third down and 30 or so. Oh no, fourth down and 30. But little things like that, we weren't great on. But I'm sorry, I'm stumbling so much. But I'm trying to think of an out, a speed out on the goal line turns into a 99-yard touchdown. So we were fortunate with some things.
All right, can I tell him?
Good, do it now.
Yeah.
All right, this
Phil
is the
Stacey.
God's honest truth. All right, and I'm not lying. Mr. Siglaski can back me up here. I turned to Bill and Craig, and I said, "Watch this coming up. Longest touchdown play in Marblehead history." Before the play happened.
Really? Okay.
Have no idea what you're going to run. Anything like that? See the little pass in the flat, makes the guy miss. Greg and I look at each other, makes his move. We think he's going to be caught about, 45 or 40 or so?
I did too, yeah.
And then he goes out to the left, and I said, oh my God. God's honest truth.
Yeah, no, we were just trying to get ourselves a little space, a little room there, and Chris made a couple of nice cuts, and I'm sure that he's now wishing that he had run harder during sprints and had the wind to make it. I thought he was going to have a heart attack. Waiting to see what was that, Sanford and Son?
Yeah, I'm coming to Elizabeth.
I was waiting for Chris on the 5, Elizabeth, but he made it, and that was, I'm happy for him. That was great, and but we needed little things like that to happen that are unusual. That's not a normal
even in opening up with that home run ball for the touchdown.
Yeah, that was something we saw. That was something that we saw that we thought we could do. The interesting thing is we originally wanted to do something before that, and there was the big discussion, before the game, like should we do this? Should we do and so
was that dependent on field position?
Yeah, it was kind of like one of those things where, all right, this side took this and that side took this. So the coaching staff was sitting there going, this better work. And the other half was going, I know this isn't going to work. And so, but
he had great pass protection there. He had a lot of time.
Yeah, the first half we did. The second half, they started blitzing a little bit. We made a couple mistakes in our protection. Miles certainly made a few mistakes holding onto the ball too long, especially when we're down in our end. That was a mistake. And he's young, the first-year guy. He'll learn from that. We don't like to see that, but it did feel good tonight that I think the kids, you could tell that the kids knew what they had to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're not able to do it, but that was encouraging, to start a game and finish a game with everyone sort of on the same page. And they know where they made the mistakes. We know we've got to clean up. We're, playing the number one team. If it ends up being Milton, we're not going to get away with any of that stuff. They caught us on a couple trick plays, and didn't complete it.
Yeah.
Steve's gonna run stuff that they're not gonna miss those. Right. So we have to be very careful next week.
But take the other side of that coin there. I thought defensively, you guys had great pressure, really good wrapping up tonight. I mean, completely different from what I saw a week ago.
It's a great point, Phil. It's our tackling. Our tackling last week all of a sudden was not very good, and we didn't do anything different last week, and we didn't really do anything different this week. It's just funny like that, when you get out to a game like this, where tonight I noticed it immediately, where the kids were hitting harder, that the tackling was much better. The kids were wrapping up, they were dropping their hips rather than dipping their shoulders down. But you saw it right away. But it is interesting. Danvers was just the opposite. You saw right away that we weren't tackling well. So that was very encouraging. But honestly, we didn't really do anything different than we tackled twice a week. We did that again this week, and we talked about it. But that's really it. The kids stepped up. It was
who's the kid? You told me that you think
Crew Monaco.
That's right.
Yeah. So Crew Monaco has been this summer kind of came to our 7-on-7s, and I think just by necessity one time we needed to put him in for something. I think Connor was visiting a college. So we needed to put him in, and right away you could see like, well, these guys can move pretty good. So he's been our starting safety, you know, all season, and he started. I'm sorry, once Xander got hurt.
Okay.
And it's been great, you know. I just never. It's not someone that we saw that was going to help us, and but he's been fantastic, you know, and we've been very successful since he's been in there.
And he's even coming up, I noticed, on
he
run
loves to
plays,
hit.
and
he loves
gets
to hit.
involved in the.
Yep.
You know, gets his helmet in there. And all
yeah,
that.
tough kid. So it's, you know, we've been very happy with him. We've been, you know, really fortunate to have, you know, Chris able tonight. Shane got dinged up a little bit, and kind of like the Beverly game with Connor. You know, as soon as you get that, like, let's just get you out. We need you next week.
Who came in for?
That was Chris. So Chris on offense.
No, on defense.
Oh, on defense was Elliot Plouffe, who played a great game too. Yeah. So. You know, we're just lucky to have those guys, and they're healthy right now. We weren't that way in the beginning of the season, so it's a good time to be playing well. But, you know, again, we're playing the #1 seed next week. You know, we could get spanked. You know, so it doesn't. You know, really, what happens between now and next Friday is going to be more important than anything we just did.
The kids were saying you had very good practices this week.
We did.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, they and I'm glad they recognize that too, because it just, you know, we're at our best when our safeties, middle linebackers, when everyone's talking the same language, and it's not someone yelling at someone like, hey, get over here, you're supposed to be there, when it is them nodding, thumbing, you know, hi, you know, yep, you know, I got, and you'll never get that on a Monday. You'll never get it on a Tuesday. You're hoping by Wednesday to start seeing some of it, and Thursday that's all you should see, so that you know you're going to see it in the game. And I felt like we were doing that on Tuesday, which is unusual. But the kids really bought into what we were doing and seemed to understand it, and did a great job communicating it tonight.